Hey, howdy, friends. It's Steve DePaul here with the Rose Realty Team with this week's real estate vlog for North Texas. Hey, you know what? It's the first full week in September here in 2024. The heat has broken, and although it's rained every day, I think there's still the heat is down, and it's much more livable than it was in much of July and August. So come on down and enjoy the weather. Hey, so this week's real estate vlog is about historic homes in basically Denton County. Okay, I'm not much. I was sort of like a history buff a little bit in high school. It was more autobiographies though than history itself. But I thought we'd enjoy kind of listening to this, and it kind of gives us something to do maybe in late second summer, early third summer here in the North Texas area. So first of all, we're talking about the Bayless-Selby house. So that was built in 1884. They were settlers here and actually in Denton County. In the I guess it's the late 19th century. Now this house, along with several others, have been moved to a Denton County historical park, and it's sort of some land that they stuck aside that they have these historical homes in. It's sort of a you might want to call it like an outdoor museum. Okay, but anyway, it's like this. It shows you this restored Victorian style type of house that they had here again back in the late 19th century, and it's kind of a cool thing to go and see. They get many visitors there, thousands of visitors every year. Then we want to talk about the Taylor family home. Now the Taylors, when they came here in the earliest 20th century, they were settlers here. They were really big in the agricultural area and owned a lot of land where they had where they farmed the land and grew crops and raised the cattle, etc. Again, it's a Victorian, it's kind of a move from Victorian to Craftsman style house. It's again in this Denton County historical park. If you kind of take a look at the picture over here, this house is sort of up on blocks, you may call it, and that's because this picture was taken when they were moving the house from its original location to the historical park. Hey, before we go any further, hey, do us a favor, do yourself a favor. Log on to www.youtube.com/@moving to Dallas, Texas. Like and subscribe our website. We'd appreciate that. It also gives you access to when new content becomes available, whether it's information like this. Shortly we'll do information on our real estate planning business, so that could benefit you greatly. Rose is going to do that one. It also will give you access to when we do reels or videos on houses that we've listed, so that you'll be sort of like the first ones to know about those houses when they get listed, and it'll benefit you all a lot. So we appreciate you for doing that, and we thank you. So getting back into the historical homes here. The next one we're going to look at here is the Jackson family home. It was dating back to about 1880. It was actually out of Pilot Point. The Jacksons were really big. Were some of the first pioneers of that Pilot Point area up there, sort of northwest here of Denton and the northwest section of Denton County. It's a Victorian, again, another Victoria era kind of home, and it kind of a lot of ornate craftsmanship in terms of the woodworking, etc. Now the next house is the John B. Denton house. This is sort of a real interesting house. So this was John Denton's house when he came to Texas. So John Denton was born in Tennessee in 1806. He was orphaned, and then he stayed in with a foster family, and then he after the foster family, he kind of ran away. He was in Arkansas at the time, and then he kind of migrated from Arkansas down through Oklahoma into Texas, the way he settled in what's now known as Denton County. This house that you see here was the house that he built for himself in Denton County around 1837, and he was one of the first settlers here. He was sort of a preacher type of guy, right? And so he settled rather in Denton County because what's now Denton County, because you figure this would be a good area so that he could go out and be a good central area for his ministry. So that's kind of a double interesting. And then another thing, the last thing is, so if you ever go to Denton, you go to the city courthouse and the county courthouse and the square that's surrounding it. There's a lot of historic homes around that square, and you can kind of lining the street there. And some of them, or rather the historic ones, date back to the early 1800s and early 1900s, and these are historical marked homes that if you were to purchase them, for example, to live in, you'd have to maintain sort of like the integrity of the house, and you couldn't rip off the porch or the patio, or the facade of the house would have to remain sort of original to maintain the sort of like the historical nature of the house. You could put in plumbing and AC and all that kind of stuff and paint the inside, but it has the regular outside of the house has to have its integrity and its mannerisms, you might want to call it, sort of maintained. So that's sort of interesting. So I hope you kind of enjoyed that a little bit, a little departure from our average, hey, what's going on in Denton or Plano or whatever. So I hope you enjoyed that. Hey, next week we're going to talk about something that's actually kind of interesting to me anyway, tech trends in real estate. So we're going to talk about some tech trends that are out there, that have been out there for a little while, and plus some tech trends that are like brandy new. So I hope you stay tuned for that. This is Steve. I am with the Rose Realty Team. So long.